Welcome, friend. It's September 19th, 2016. We are back. We'll talk about the terrorist attacks in Minnesota, New Jersey, and New York, and the upcoming election between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. I'm Randall Terry. This is Voice of Resistance.
Those who forsake the law praise the wicked. Those who uphold the law resist them. Welcome to the Voice of Resistance. Here's your host, Randall Terry.
We have so much to discuss with you, I don't even know where to begin. Let's begin with the stabbing in Minnesota, where a 22-year-old Muslim man dressed up like a security guard walked up to his victims, asked them if they were Muslim. If they were not, he began to stab them. He also was yelling out the name of Allah, the Arabic word for God, as he committed his crime. An off-duty policeman who happened to be carrying his firearm was able to shoot and kill this would-be murderer. ISIS has taken responsibility for that attack. As for the detonations in New York and New Jersey, which we'll get to in a minute, they have not officially claimed responsibility. The man who killed, and again, let me just say from the beginning, there's the news, and then there's the lessons to be taken away, then there's the political impact, okay? The news is very simple. A Muslim following the dictates and the example of Muhammad and his successors and his immediate companions sought to evangelize, spread the message about Islam, put terror into the hearts of people through the sword, literally a blade. But what we're still seeing is the inability of the major media and most politicians to connect the dots between Muhammad, how Islam was founded, how it was spread by him, Muhammad, the founder of Islam, and today's terrorists. They're either deliberately not looking, or they've looked and they've seen the truth and they're too horrified to say the truth because of the impact, the ramifications. So let's talk about the political impact of this for a minute. And by the way, later on in today's program, I'm going to play for you the first 5 minutes of episode 1 of What Would Muhammad Do? We've been 10 years in research, 2 years in production, and thank you God, it's done. The 10 episodes are done, so you're not going to want to miss it, all right? Music, special effects, artists, voice actors. It's really something. The political impact on this is twofold. Trump made big headlines at the end of last week, and over the weekend, the left-wing media kept whining and whining because of Trump's statement that Hillary wants to take away your Second Amendment rights, but she has armed guards around her all the time. And then he said satirically, sarcastically, why doesn't she have her armed guards just put down their weapons, see what happens? He said it would be very dangerous. That's what he said. So what they did is they clipped off the end where he said it would be very dangerous, and they played it like he was egging some type of a threat against Hillary, which is so ludicrous. It's laughable. But the left wing is so frantic right now, frantic to stop Trump, that they're being dishonest in their reporting, okay? So the political impact of the stabbing was, number one, it took someone with a firearm to bring down this assassin, okay? Again, proving Trump's point that if we are going to be a safe society, we will be an armed society. The Second Amendment is not for duck hunting, okay? And Hillary's life in the eyes of God is no more precious than anyone else's life, right? I mean, you should have the right to defend yourself. She's got, heaven knows how many, and the federal government payroll knows how many armed guards she has around her at any given minute, literally. So she is taking full advantage of the right to keep and bear arms. Why shouldn't you? So that's number one. Number two, the political impact. Number two is the issue of Islamic terrorism. Islamic terrorism and immigration. Because both the suspect in New Jersey that they're looking for as of right now, he was born outside of the country, and the young man up in Minnesota, he was born outside of the country, all right? And they were both here legally, by the way, but they come with a different religion and a different law code. So I've got to take a break, but we'll talk about what they can't say because it'll help Donald Trump. Don't go away. If you own a business and would like to advertise on our program, please contact us. We are currently seen on over 130 television stations from coast to coast. We air at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then all times are local. We have a lot of reach, friend, and this is an opportunity at a great price for you to get your product or your service in front of hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people. Also, if there's something that's important to you and you'd like to have a month where you just say thank you to this ministry or promote a certain ministry or a certain cause, contact us. Our rates are incredibly affordable. You'd be surprised. And you, again, can reach into hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of homes. We're currently seen possibly in over 30 million homes. So give us a call, give us an email, and we'll put a commercial up for you. When the bombs were found in New York and in New Jersey, Mayor de Blasio, a hardcore left-wing Democrat, could not bring himself to say that this was terrorism. Forget Islamic terrorism. Forget that, right? A bomb goes off in a dumpster. 29 people are wounded. Another device, a pressure cooker, is found in New York. In New Jersey, a lot of people could have been badly hurt if that bomb had not been discovered on the 5-mile run. So what does de Blasio say? We don't know if this is terrorism. Again, it's laughable. Hillary says we can't make a judgment until we know all the facts. Why? Why? Because of the political impact, because of the election. People, we've got to understand they are weaving a story. They're weaving a narrative. It's so cunning. It's so deceitful. For de Blasio to not even have the integrity to say this is a terrorist attack or an attempted terrorist attack is all political. He knows that if he says it's a terrorist attack, that it's going to help Donald Trump. Again, never mind saying an Islamic terrorist attack, just a terrorist attack. Because Trump is saying that our borders are not safe, our people are not safe, we're letting in the wrong type of people into the country. And I, as President Donald Trump, is saying, I'm going to change that. Hillary, on the other hand, wants to quintuple, bring in 5 times as many Syrian Muslim refugees as Obama did. Okay? And a very large portion, I think I read one news story that said almost half of the Syrian refugees that are being led into this country right now are relocating to New York City and the greater New York area. So there's people that are instinctively nervous, worried. Trump is saying, no, we're not going to let them in anymore until we can properly vet them. Hillary's saying, let's quintuple the number that are coming in. Well, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that the vast majority of terrorism in the world today is coming from Muslims, and that we are letting in Muslims, some of whom are terrorists. We don't know if it's 1%, 3%, 7%. We don't know. And we don't know how many of them, when they come here, are not considering acts of terror, but then they get close to some of their fellow Muslims, they study the Hadith, they study the biographies on Muhammad's life, and then they become terrorists. So de Blasio cannot or will not say that this is an act of terror. Now, he looks like an idiot. He does. He looks like a fool. But there's enough people running interference in the national press so that he can afford to look like a fool to a thinking person because, and I don't mean to be unkind, but there are a lot of people in the electorate right now that can't think straight. I had a discussion the other day with someone who was a Hillary supporter, maniacally against Trump. And so I didn't try and convince them otherwise, didn't try and persuade them. In fact, I've done this to 2 people in the last week, but just asking them questions. What about Trump don't you like? What policies of his don't you like? And what came out in both conversations with the people was it was not Trump's policies that they were against. It's that they think he's a bigot. He's a bigot. He's a racist. He's a homophobe. They just start spouting off these names, which shows me where they're getting their news from, and it shows me where they're not getting their news from. If they cannot identify the policies of Trump and say, this policy I'm against, then you know that it's personal. It's not intellectual. It's not something thought through. It's somebody watching MSNBC and seeing a clip of Hillary say that the basket of deplorables is who's supporting Donald Trump and the irredeemable. And then the person going, yep, that's right. They're not thinking. They're not thinking. I've got to take a break. When we come back, I am going to play for you a opening clip, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, of What Would Mohammed Do, the serial documentary that we have been working on for nearly 2 years now. You're not going to want to miss it. Friend, this program is supported by friends like you who believe in what we are doing. We run a very tight ship. Thankfully, we are on over 130 stations across the country, having tremendous impact. We get emails every day. We get letters in the mail, not every day, but almost every day. We hear from people who love what we're doing. What people don't understand is that it's sort of expensive to produce a television show like this. It doesn't require earth-shattering funds, but it does require financial help. So I am asking you, if you enjoy this program, throw us a $10 or a $20 bill every once in a while, or even a $50 or a $100 check. You see the address there on the screen. Your gifts are not tax deductible, by the way, because we want to be able to say what we want to say regarding politics without the IRS telling us no. So if you like the program, I ask for your support. One of the ongoing conundrums that reporters and politicians face is they look at a Muslim terrorist with no connection to ISIS or Al-Qaeda, none, and they say, but who radicalized him? Who trained him? It's sadly the wrong question. It's the wrong question. Someone doesn't have to be trained by ISIS to become a Muslim terrorist. They simply have to read the ancient writings of Muhammad, or about Muhammad rather. He didn't write, he was illiterate, but they have to read that material and believe it. That's it. I have been researching the upcoming clip, the series that we've just finished, for 10 years, over 10 years, and been in production for nearly 2 years. Voice actors, artists. It's really something. You can get it if you want. I'm going to play this clip for you and watch this.
I also want to speak tonight directly to Muslims throughout the world. We respect your faith. His teachings are good and peaceful. And those who commit evil in the name of Allah blaspheme the name of Allah.
Islam is a religion of peace. They are not Muslims, they are monsters.
At the same time, we have reaffirmed again and again that the United States is not and never will be at war with Islam. Islam teaches peace.
No, we are at war. And if we hope to be victorious, we must know our enemy, Muslim terrorists. Whether it's ISIS, Al-Qaeda, the Muslim Brotherhood, or so-called lone wolves, devout Muslim terrorists are spreading terror and death in our communities worldwide. We're at war with them because they have declared war on us. They've declared war on us based on an ancient Islamic narrative or storyline, which is foundational in Muslim philosophy, theology, and law, the caliphate. Caliph, or khalifa, is an Arabic word that means successor. They want one Muslim nation under one Muslim leader, succeeded by another, then another. This mission, having one successor or caliph leading one huge Muslim nation, is at the heart and soul of Islamic ideology and dates back to the first generation of Muslims. Muslim terrorists around the world will continue to attack us in pursuit of that goal. In addition to that, they've sworn an oath to Allah to convert us or enslave us or kill us. This too is part of their ideology, also dating back to the first generation of Muslims. Muslim terrorists see themselves inside a storyline that is 1,400 years old. So to have the best chance of protecting ourselves and defeating Islamic terrorists, we must also look inside that story. Only then can we hope to understand them and what they think. Winston Churchill gives us a time-honored example of what we should do. Study our enemy. Long before Adolf Hitler came to power, Churchill read everything about Hitler he could get his hands on, every interview, every tirade, and most importantly, Churchill studied the book that Adolf Hitler wrote, Mein Kampf, which was a blueprint that foreshadowed what Hitler would do if he came to power. Churchill studied his enemy. In the 1930s, while England and France were embracing and extolling Hitler, Churchill warned that Hitler would plunge all of Europe into another world war. The United States paid little attention, but Churchill insisted that Hitler was insane and should be surrounded and destroyed. Churchill was right. He knew his enemy. He knew the storyline that Hitler saw himself in. And Churchill did not believe Hitler's lies after Hitler came to power. Churchill wasn't seduced by Hitler's claims of being peaceful because Churchill had read Mein Kampf. He knew Hitler's blueprint for the world. We'll follow Churchill's example, as distasteful or unpleasant as it may be, and study our enemy's beliefs, their vision for the world, what motivates them in their acts of terrorism. Only then can we increase our chances of safety and victory. All right, I'm going to take a break. When we come back, we will discuss more about what's in the news. And I want to invite you, go and get this or order the series. You can download it right now. You can download it or stream it. Go to our website, voiceofresistance.com. You can download it, you can stream it, or you can order the DVDs. The DVDs are in the process of getting finished right now. There's a lot involved with mastering and the extras reel that we're putting together. But what you saw, the quality of what you saw, the sound, the music, all of it, all 10 episodes are just like that. And every single person so far who has watched it and reviewed it has said it's unbelievable, it's awesome, they've never seen anything like it. And I can tell you, no one in the Western Hemisphere has done what we did in this serial documentary. I'll be right back. I want to invite you to go to our website. Almost every book that I have ever written is available as a PDF online for free. We have a ton of products, training materials, tools that are available for you for free. All we ask for is that you give us your email address. That's it, so that we can stay in touch with you and, yes, from time to time, ask you to support this work. So I'm inviting you, go to the website. Now, for those of you who say, well, I don't want a PDF, I want a real book. You can get one of my books. All you have to do is pay for shipping and handling, and then give whatever gift you want. And if you can't afford anything, we'll send you the book for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Why are we doing all this? Because we want to change the direction of the country, and we need to raise up a fresh generation of warriors to do that. That's why we have this tool. I invite you, go to the website, see for yourself. Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States of America. I would encourage you to take it to the bank, and I would also encourage you to make it a reality. Randall, how can you say that? I've been saying it for months. He's going to be the president because the person that he's running against, Hillary Clinton, is stumbling badly, literally stumbling because of her health issues, but she's not tapping into any enthusiasm, excitement. Look at the size of Trump's rallies. Look at the number of them. And look at how few she has and how small the crowds are. One of the reasons that the major media are not doing pan shots of Trump's crowds and pan shots of Hillary's crowds is because Hillary looks ridiculous. Trump looks presidential. Now, his new campaign manager is having a lot to do with his recent uptick in the polls. He's staying on message. He's using a teleprompter. He is looking and sounding more presidential, according to what other people say. I'm just quoting them. But more importantly, in the battleground states, remember what I've told you repeatedly. In the battleground states, that's where this election is going to be won or lost. And this morning, CBS News put up about a dozen states that are in a statistical dead heat, 42 to 42. And all the trending is going towards Trump. He was way down in Ohio, now he's even. He was way down in Florida, now he's ahead. He's ahead in Nevada. He's within striking distance in Pennsylvania. No one's won Pennsylvania since, I believe, Bush the Elder did in 1988. So, in the Los Angeles Times poll has him up 6 points. The LA Times poll has Donald Trump leading nationally at 6 points. But remember what I've told you, and the reason I keep coming back to this is I want you to be able to talk to others intelligently. The national polls don't matter. It's the polls in the swing states that matter. And that is where he is starting to trounce her, okay? She was up in some of these swing states 5, 8, 10 points. And now they're dead even or Trump is starting to pull ahead. That's momentum, people. And when you see Hillary's inept reaction and response to Islamic terrorism, when you see clear health issues that she has, when you see deceit about what she's sick with, people are saying, I'm nervous about Trump, but I'm more nervous about Hillary, and I don't trust Hillary, and I think I'm going to vote for Trump. He's going to be the next president.